we had talked, and you told me some shows that
some cases.
Yeah, cases that I don't want to believe, but I'm going to believe because I believe it to be true. But at the same time,
It's true.
People are off the chain. Let's talk about a couple of them. Let's talk about this amputee sex ring. Now, for those, we talking about cutting body parts off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, really amputating. So we get this case where the guy went to Tijuana to rendezvous with a surgeon from Chicago who was known in this underground fetish subculture of people that want to have appendages and limbs amputated so they can be sexy. And there are people that want to have sex with amputees. That is their thing. Now, I'd never heard of this. Nobody in the newsroom at AMW had ever heard of this.
Right.
I literally called a behavioral psychologist in D.C. just to ask, okay, this is what I'm dealing with here. I have to try to tell this story about the surgeon, because here's what happened. The guy goes to Tijuana, gets his leg cut off, one leg from the knee down. He brought a friend with him who was also in this subculture to stay with him while he recovered in some seedy motel in Tijuana. Guy gets gangrene and dies.
Damn.
Mexican police come, want to know, why is this dude with a fresh amputated leg in this motel room dead? Friend doesn't want to be locked up in Mexico, so he spills the whole beans.
Right.
Surgeon gets indicted, but he's got a ton of money because he's a rich surgeon, and he was charging people like $15,000 to meet him in Tijuana to cut off their leg or whatever, right?
Wow.
So he takes off, and that's how he ends up a fugitive on America's Most Wanted, and that's how I discovered that there are people out there that actually will have an arm or a leg or a hand cut off to be sexy. That's crazy, right?
Well, I'm not. Well, I wouldn't want that, but I'm gonna tell you something. On nowadays, I've been online and I've seen some fine women with arm missing and stuff. You're like, wow,
but at least they are people who accidents or war happen
Right, I
to
get
them.
that part.
These
right.
are people like you and I.
Right,
they got all their appendages, all their fingers and toes, and that's what they want to do. And we caught the guy. We caught the surgeon.
Oh, you finally did?
Yeah, they caught him. Yeah. But everybody, and when the show came on, people were calling in like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. But this there's people who want to have, what's it called, bestiality, necrophiliac, having sex with dead bodies.
Yeah.
I'm just like, people.
It's
I feel like God should
people.
give everybody free will. You gotta pull some of that back, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, God, pull some of that back.
And there were others that took me deep into weird subcultures. There was.
What about the 60-year-old multi-millionaire crackhead cross-dresser? That's how you making that up. That's a movie. That's a movie you making. You wrote a movie, ain't you?
John Leone. This guy was an older white guy who lived in Palmer Heights, Ohio, rich suburb of Cleveland, in a mansion. Had a chauffeur, had a butler, had a young butler named Orlando. Who this brother was really funny. But so John Leone sold his trucking company for millions of dollars when he was in the early '60s, and he was gay, but he got into this ring of other gay guys that were smoking crack, but he had so much money, he was buying baseball-sized crack.
Wow.
Right? He spent $400,000 with one dealer. Okay.
Ooh-wee.
Imagine if you're selling crack, you got one customer, you can make $400,000 a year off. So here's what he was doing. He's having his chauffeur go into East Cleveland, pick up crackheads, bring them out to the mansion, take them upstairs into the master bedroom, which is his sex boudoir, and he has a security door that once they're in there, he locks them in.
Damn.
Till he's ready to let them go leave. So the thing he was into was, in addition to cross-dressing and having all kinds of crack-fueled sex, was, as the detective had to explain it on the show, sexual gratification through the consumption of human waste.
Ooh.
And when I first talked to the detective the very first time about this case, and he started telling me, so here's why Leone ended up on AMW. One night, they bring out a new crackhead from the hood. Okay. He is up in the room with them. They smoking the crack. He's got one of his regulars there. Okay. They got a big golf ball size, softball size thing. They got razors that they're slicing the crack off with. And he had a swing hanging over his bed. So these guys, once they got high, he would say, okay, he said, my man's going to show you what I want you to do. So he's going to get up in the swing and I'm gonna lay under him, and he's going to defecate and da-da-da, right? So this new crackhead is like, he's sitting there like,
this is crazy.
like, I'm high.
Right.
But I ain't that high.
Right,
I want to go back to Cleveland, right? He's like, take me back to Cleveland now.
Right.
Let me out of here, right?
Right.
So they won't let him out. So it's on the second floor of this Tudor mansion. He starts busting the glass out to jump out the window.
Sure.
Leone and the other dude grab the crack razors and start slashing this dude. And he's buck naked.
Ooh.
He's high on crack.
Right.
It's dead of winter. There's snow on the ground. It's Ohio. It's Cleveland.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Dives out the window, bleeding, runs through this neighborhood to the next mansion, which is like some rich people, some other rich people, and they look out the window. It's like 3 a.m. There's a naked, blood-drenched black man in the yard, and so they call the police. They follow the blood trail back to Leone's mansion, and they charge him with attempted murder.
Wow.
And that's how I end up, and he takes off, and he leaves the country. But we caught him in Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Boy, there's some dudes like that right now around this world doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
If you like that clip, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell. In fact, why don't you hit both of them?